And so we begin with a nice, gentle bit of atmospheric music. It builds up to a gentle, mild swell. You hear the violins, the drum building up, and the gentle crash. And there you go. Hello. Here we go again. Once again, with the nonsense. What can I say? We're back. We are back. Hello. Hey. I'm not late. I am perfectly within tolerance. It's within tolerance. You know? If that's all we're going for, I am within tolerance. And there's yeah. Good day to you, Cragord. I'm glad that you decided to join on this fateful day. Hi, I feel like instructions on how to breathe will be next. Well, Herzl, if you would like instructions on how to breathe, you can go over to ko-fi.com/DreamsVoid and I will sell instructions on how to breathe to you. I'm joking. I wouldn't sell instructions on how to breathe. That's open source, isn't it? Lungs are open source. They are. Everyone's got them. Everyone's got genetic sequence to do the thing, to do the yeah? Yeah? It makes sense. Anyway, hello. Welcome to what I believe is part 7 of DreamsVoid builds a BabyBelt Pro. Is it part 7? Have I counted correctly? I have no idea. Let's actually check, because that's super important details that should not have been validated before I started the live stream. Yes. Where are we? Where are we? Everything in my head says part 7. It won't be the last. You know this. Hey! Hey. I feel attacked. I feel attacked. You're attacking me. And I love you for it. Keep going. Keep at it. You know, hold me accountable. That's the way we're going to do this. You hold me accountable. Right. Yeah, this is part 7. If you say it will be the last part, you make sure it isn't. Well, look. The idea for today, we are doing a post. That light doesn't need to be on. Okay. We're doing a post-mortem. You know, we're going over what went well, what didn't go well, and we'll see what we need to do for the next project, which, as we all know, is big. It's a big one. So, yeah. I'm saying the word "so" a lot. Clearly, I am fumbling because I know exactly what it is I'm doing. I am very well versed and very well practiced at this, he said while trying to find the browser tab with everything that he needs in it, because he doesn't have said browser open already. Gosh darn it. The only way this will last, anyway, this is the last, is if you send it to the States and let someone else put it together. Oi! Come on! I'll send it to Josh or Rob. Yeah, send the printer to Rob, because then he could actually finish it, as if he doesn't have enough BabyBelt printers already. Right. I am finding things everywhere that shouldn't be everywhere else. I didn't tidy. The desk is horrific. But that's not the point. we are here today to make it print. Because, you know, make it print. Then you can all see that I am not incorrect with everything. Yeah. So let's get things in the right place. Make sure that you can all see things in the right place. I need Idea Maker. And let's get Idea Maker open. Where is Idea Maker? Because, yes, Idea Maker is the one that I'm going for because Rob sliced his file in Idea Maker and we knew that it worked, so I may as well stick to Idea Maker and then we know where I'm going wrong. Here we go. One Idea Maker. Right, where are you? There you are. Just joking. You had Pro help last time. Got it right. Yeah, exactly. I had Rob's help last time, and we got it working. I just had to do the calibration steps, which I did a little bit of calibration last night, because I did try and print a printer block. Let me just transition back to the right shot so you can see what I'm about to hold up to the camera. I printed a printer block. This is a printer block. You know, perfectly square, a perfect 16 by 16 millimeter cube. No issues here. None whatsoever. No issues. No siree. There is nothing wrong there. Nothing wrong with it. In fact, it was so good, I printed another one. And this time, let's just hold it up with another standard block. Oop, can't see. Yeah, see? Perfectly square, no issues, none whatsoever, perfectly fine. Perfectly cromulent block. Yeah, it's pretty, Josh, isn't it? Good day. Is this for the lead tube down? Yes, it is definitely for the Leaning Tower of Printer block. You know, definitely the perfect block for you to have in your home. So what that showed me, the second one maybe, but maybe the first. So what that showed me was that let's go top down shot. That the belt was not. That's really far away. What it showed me was that the belt wasn't done for the E-steps correctly. The E-steps were not set properly on the belt. And I'm going to apologize that this is really far away, but I don't know what I can do about it. Because if I move this down, physically zoom in, you are now in my face. So you can see the seam here. I don't have my phone camera. There's the seam here. What I did was I got my calipers. And I took my calipers, I zeroed them out, made sure they were correct. Doop-de-doop. I opened them to a point. I got myself a bit of sticky tape. And I physically taped my calipers to the printer so that it wouldn't move. And I got another bit of tape and put it a bit over here. Yes, this is exactly what I did. Second one maybe, that you are tilted. Yes. So, I told the printer to move to 100. and it started to move. It took a second or three. Hey, look, there you are. Off it toodled. Is it this one? This one. And then, you know, it went to around about 100-ish. So I used that measurement, went into a lovely, lovely sheet for calibrating, which, can I bring it up on stream? No, I can't. But either way, I did some maths, and eventually I got my Z calibrated, which is what got me the second block. I know it's 102.16, but that's not exactly what it is, because it wasn't exactly at the start, and it wasn't exactly at the end. This is just for illustrative purposes. Illustrative. It's a fun word, illustrative. But hey, I did that. And then that's what got us the second block. And I did it again. And, you know, this is where we are now. This lovely gigantoblock on the top. I've not cheated off stream, but, you know, I would say it is a serviceable printer block, because you can see the issues that have been. No, I didn't do it again and broke it. You can see the bits that have been improved. Actually, let's hold it up to a black background rather than my face. Is that better or worse? I really shouldn't have printed this in yellow with the light being right there. But there we go. So this is, in theory, square or cubish. I think it's square or cubish. I haven't actually measured it. A gigantoblock should be 32 by 32 by 32. And this is when I get the right camera again. Top down and face. Ta-da. 31.93 by, oh, that's the same angle. 31.93 by 30.9 by 32.71. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So this is this point that we are at, this rambling diatribe of an intro. I'm happy with where it's at for the right now. Like this is fine tuning. Close enough to go to space. Yeah, exactly. Close enough to go to space. Oh, I should really make a mild agenda of the stuff that I'm going to talk about on these, rather than just nonsense. But equally, the nonsense is the best. You know, nonsense is the best because it is. Right. I was opening up the slicer and I was going to slice something, and then we were going to do some planning while that's printing. I think that was the plan. Slice something, and then go have fun for a few minutes while that does the thing, and then work out what we're doing next. So I need you guys to decide what is it that we are going to print. Is it going to be a piece of track from Reliance? Is that what we're going to do? Because I could do. I do have the straight piece of track, and I think you would appreciate seeing that come out properly. Should we do that one? Build a Voron, lovely wiring in it. No, I'm not doing a Voron. That's not answering the right now. I won't rule out building a Voron. I do have an archive of legacy parts to build some classic printers. Yes. Let's do a piece of Reliance track because it shouldn't take too long to print, and then we can discuss what went well with this build series. That's G-code path. That's an STL file. Here we are. Right, let's slice this as it is and have a quick gander. Right, preview. Let's have a quick look. So straight path does not have any downward angle to it. That's not printing in midair. So that's all good. That bridge looks okay. And then it just carries on. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do this print. Straight path. Save. Done. Load up the browser window. Go back to Documents folder. Straight path. Upload. And then let's transition and let's hope that you can all see. Ooh. Oh, not that one. Edge, mark-on face. Yeah, transition that. And you, of course you can't see. Of course you can't. Why should you be able to see the browser window? Why should you be able to see that? No? There we are. So, straight path. At least I said Voron and not a 4 or 5 head stealth changer. I believe I want a tool changer. I believe I do. I've got a Wham Mutant on the big printer block printer. So that's kind of it, but that's not active. That's offline tool changing. Yeah, I think I want a tool changer. It would be quite fun. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I do. It'll be printer block. Of course it'll be printer block. It's always me. It's always printer block with me. Whoop. Is that now in the right place? Or is that... No, it's not. Why would it be in the right place? One moment. There we go. A tool changer would be good. No. So the filament path changers like the Index and the Clytek from Creality, if Creality released that to the open market, then that would be certainly rather interesting. Index would be fun. It really would be fun. So how are we looking for that first layer? I say first layer. How are we looking? I am off camera. It's going down. It is going down. So it's got that going for it. So that first layer that we did last week looks good. I've fixed the extrusion rate because I previously had that from, oh, the window's not showing. This one, nope. Come on, Edge. There. No. I need Edge back. Oh, there it is. I previously just had the defaults that came with the Clipper config. So let's go into printer.cfg. No, not printer.cfg. This backup file. In the extruder, you can see it has a gear ratio in there and a rotation the rotation distance. That's not the extruder that I've got. I've got just a generic Creality dual gear nonsense basic extruder that you'd find on an Ender 3. So I've copied the extruder from my Ender 3 that's got the same setup on it. I want to see if Sobol pulls off what they are working on. I really hope that IDEX Index works on the Sobol M1D or whatever it's called. I really do. I'm hearing some grindy, crunchy noises, which doesn't fill me with confidence. It makes me think it's going too fast. Let's just slow down a little bit, just to be safe. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to how it prints, because IDEX Index to me is great because it just is. You've got your multi-material for your interlocking layer, interlocking differential materials. So your TPU and TPU PETG stuff with physical linking between them, and you can do that and have a third material still for your differential support material. So I think it's great. I really do, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it is and how it goes. Let's just make sure I'm not unintentionally advertising people. But yes, I too want to see if they pull it off. Cragord. I think it would be good. Have you watched the video of it printing the number 1 head lifts and parts? I have not looked at it printing yet. It's the Soval M1D, correct? IDEX index. Soval M1D landing page. 6+1. That's a render. Mirror printing mode. No. Multi-printing mode. No. The Z, the first tool lifts. So I'm guessing that means it lifts if it's going over a print so that it doesn't collide, to then move to where it needs to be. Is that what they mean by that? That's running too fast. There's not a lot to see there. Playback speed. Let's just playback speed and quarter it. If I make this full screen, okay. So full screen doesn't take over absolutely everything for you, so that's okay. So what are we seeing here? That is just purely mirror printing. Okay. That's nothing special with IDEX. Let's change the playback speed on this. See auto lift. Structure, continuously adjust the second tool head Z offset in real time. Oh! Oh! Okay. So the bed mesh is done off tool head, the first tool head, and then the second tool, it does whatever it needs to do for that, and then the second tool head just does its own? Is it active? Is that what that means? I don't know if I'm missing it in that. Either way. Either way. At least that's what we are getting from it. Okay. Okay. So... Right. I'm interested in the price point. It's right there. $1,500, which is 1,500 USD to GBP, is painful. I can't afford that. I also don't have a use case for it. As we are all well aware, I don't have a use case for that. I don't have a use case for it yet. I will eventually have a use case. So far, I think this is going okay, because we've not shifted anything yet. So we're doing all right there. That should be working. I don't know why it's not. Oh. Because I hit record instead of stream. Whoops. Oh dear. Yeah. So, as I said at the start, this is now running. We should really go over painful, but you know it will come down in price. Yes, it will eventually come down in price. It will eventually. And that browser window has moved. That's really irritating me. So, as I said at the start, what can we say that has gone well in this build series? Let's just do like a let's do a post-mortem when I find the right one. Let's do that post-mortem. Like what can we say has gone well? I'm not in line for a bit. I'm not in line for a new printer for a bit. Just bought an H2S. Yeah. I can see why you would want to switch out from that for a while. So what went well? We had funny failures. Yes. We had some funny failures from me not reading instruction manuals or build guides, whatever words you want to use. We can agree on that. I'll give you that. It was funny. It was painful, but it was funny. Have I just ruined the framing of this shot? Yes, I have. Let's just put it back because we know it was working fine. Leave things alone, Doug. Leave it alone. It's fine. Right. We got to see you try and solder. Yeah, okay, so you're wanting more soldering. Is that what you're after? More soldering? Because I don't know if I can do that. Although I did just buy some tip cleaner because I need to clean the tip of my soldering iron. You had to get help and you did. Yes, I knew that I needed help and I went and got help. Yeah. So that went well. What else went well? So I mean, the printer's built and it's printing. It's that last 2% of calibration that, you know, it's the last 2%. It's fine. That's a big step for a Doug. Yes, Doug, it is. You got robbed of your problems. Wow. Wow. That was painful. So, for a first build in a live stream, I think this has gone all right, and I think you all agree. Do we make things 20 times worse? 20 times worse? Should we? Because I mean, it's just there, and it needs to happen eventually anyway. And I may as well do it on stream. I may as well do it on stream. It's a little bit big. So, Kragord, my fellow Doug, do I just make my own life difficult once again? By eating a box of gummy bears. Do we do it? Do we do it from the ground up? Because this isn't going to be a Prusa Mini, is it? That thing. Do it and we will give you hell. Good. Good. That thing isn't just going to be a Prusa Mini. That, wrong shot. It is a Prusa. You have to be enough to break that stuff. Right. So, as you can see in the background, I've got a Delta block. The plan with the Prusa Mini Kit is to do it as a full-on printer block printer from the ground up. Do I get to join the shit show? No, Josh, not yet. You don't get to join the shit show yet. So the idea is with the Prusa block build is I'm designing it from the ground up, from the start. I've got nothing for this printer yet. So I have to do, but we can build it together. We can build it live together. I need to design it first. I've got no parts design, dude. That's gonna be the big pain point. It's I have to design everything. Yeah, I have to design everything from the start, and it's gonna be certainly something. Give him a week. The shit show will start as soon as he starts thinking. Yes. Feed the people popcorn. Yes. So you all get to see my design process, which is Tinkercad. I see a horrible amount of Yes, Herzl, you do. You do indeed see a horrible amount of Tinkercad in the near future. It's going to be great. It's going to be horrific. It's going to be something. And I'm glad that you're deciding to carry on this monstrosity with me. Yay! Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. All right. Dougtastic. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's... Yeah. So you're all on board? Okay. Okay, this makes me feel better. Oh, geez. Why? Well, we know why. Because some of us, hello, are daft. Bloop. Browser window? Browser window? Edge? Edge, where are you? Turn it off, turn it on, transition. Come on, Edge. You have to be silly, don't you? There you are. And then it's like 1, 2, 3. No. Wait. Wait. No. This one. 1, 2, 3. Disappears. Comes back. And in theory, that's in the right place. What's the worst that could happen? Staying the night at a drug den. Hey. Grant let me keep my kidneys. I didn't sleep the night in a drug den. I slept in my car under an overpass in a car park in the middle of a city. There's a difference. A tiny difference, but it's a difference. Crag order as long as there is a dresser to block the door. Maybe. Has it shifted layers? Have we had a layer shift? Yes, we did. Oh well. So feeds and I mean, yeah. I didn't sleep in the drug den. It's all good. Right. I don't know what to do now. It's printing. What do we do? What do we do? Do we build up the? Do we review the Prusa build guide for the Prusa Mini? So that we know what we're stepping into? Let's go to printables and have a look at the Prusa Mini. Prusa Mini Plus parts by Prusa Research. How many parts do I have to design? 29. Just 29 parts. What's that? Y1, Y idler, sure. I mean, there's going to be bits that I don't redesign because there's no point. But there are key parts that do need to be printer blockified. Where are they? It's the Mini Plus. Oh wait, it comes with... Nope. That's the bottom cover, bottom cable cover, fan spacer clip, heat bed cable, yeah. There are key bits that will and that won't need to be redesigned, but there's going to be a lot of parts. I say a lot of parts. There's parts that I want to printer blockify. Like the screen needs to be printer blockified because what's the point in not doing that? Because that would be boring. There's the... it doesn't have it on there. I'll need the original Prusa Mini, not the Prusa Mini Plus then. 3D models. Codex. Oh, sorry. Like the Prusa Mini itself has got printed base plates. Where are you? Prusa Mini. That's the Mini Plus. Mark 3, Mark 2, Mark 2, Mark 2. I2. Metric. Faceplate, screw, and nut. Oh. Mini? Are you sure that you can't find the word mini when the word mini is right there? When I find it again. 2 kilos full holder. HG90. I've lost it. Prusa Mini printables. Prusa Mini Plus. Prusa Mini collection. No. Printable parts for original Prusa. Nope. Unless it's on the GitHub. Mini series. Prusa Mini. Releases. Adjustments to avoid that. Mini R4, Mini R3. So we go to code. STL. Mini extruder front. Fresnel belt. End carriage. So it's Y carriage. Y plate front. Is this it? Yeah, these things. This I want to print blockify. This is the thing. And to get as much Prusa Mini to be printed in printer block, yeah, convoluted nonsense. Sorry about that. I just zoned out trying to find the things. Highly interesting, I know. But yes. So do we think it's a good idea or a bad idea? I think it's a brilliant idea. Ooh. There's something turned up in chat and then vanished. I don't know what it was. Let's just say it can be done. Yes, it can be, and it will be. I am covered in cobwebs that I've only just noticed. Right. Let's go to the build guide. While the BabyBelt is printing, let's go to the build guide for the Prusa Mini and have a look. Prusa Research website, build manual. Wobble, wobble, wobble. What's wobbling? Am I wobbling? That left side has some deadlift. Does it? Oh, it does. You are right, Josh. But it'll be fine soon. I hope. I hope. It's a bad idea, but you have to watch a train wreck sometimes. Wow. But yes, yeah, we'll get there. So that's the mini printable parts. Original Prusa mini cut assembly. Begin assembly. Right. So this just goes over the tools that you get in the kit. And they are laid out with a cheat sheet. Always good. But for real, I think you can do it. Well, thank you, Cragord. I appreciate the what's the word I'm looking for? Belief that you have. I appreciate it. I can click view high resolutions. I can add comments. Nice. Keep the electronics inside the ESD bag right until you're asked to install them. Okay. Encouragement. Yeah, that word. Yep. Okay. Pro tip. Nut won't fit in. Use screws and thread and screw it from the opposite side of the opening. While tightening the screw, the nut will be pulled in. Yes. Always check positions. If it was me, I would build it stock and then do the changes. See, I've already got 2 stock. But I know what you're getting at. It makes sense to know how it's built to then take it apart to then printer blockify it so that I know which parts I can printer blockify rather than just redoing everything. Is that what you're saying? If I need to say it again slower, I will do. Yes. Yeah, why reinvent the wheel? Well, I am reinventing the wheel. That's part of the plan. My thought is to redo as much in printer block form as I can possibly do. This includes taking apart, well, replacing the is it 4040 extrusion? Any extrusion is a no-go. This is my rule. I'm not using the extrusion. Any frame pieces need to be printer block. Motion components such as idlers, the rods, and motors and such are allowed to stay. They're allowed. This piece, the Y plate rear, the Y plate front, they have to be printer block. You are killing me. Well, that means you're enjoying it, right? Motor mounts, again, this has to be printer block. I have to build. The rods are allowed to stay. The goal is as much printer block as possible, and then just why not just all of the plastics? Yes, but there are some pieces. Let's find it. Some pieces like the oh, where is it? X-axis and extruder assembly. There are some pieces like the carriage that would make sense to leave stock, because this is a known piece that we know works for the Z carriage. For the X-axis and the extruder assembly, it just doesn't, to me, make complete sense to redo those. But I could be wrong. Like this piece doesn't make sense to have to redesign that as printer block. I can theme it to make it look like it and make it a usable printer block component. Okay, get conductive materials to make printer block wires. We can do the cable management inside the blocks. Ooh, good day to you, Matt German. How are you? We are currently printing out a piece of Reliance 3D marble track on the BabyBelt. And while we're doing that, we're looking at the next project, which is printer blockifying a Prusa Mini. Theming it. Yeah, so the X-end piece. Good, I'm just busy with things. Fair enough. As long as it's the good kind of busy, not the negative kind of busy, then it's all good, right? I mean, I hope it's the good kind. Yeah, I hope it's the good kind. Some pieces being themed in printer block and still functional as printer block would be good. I'd say like the X-end, that would be good to have themed. But pieces like the Z just don't quite fully make sense to be printer block. Sadly, is bad. I'm fighting crime. Oh no! Wait, no. Hang on. Does that mean you're a vigilante? Are you secretly Batman? I mean, I hope you're secretly Batman. That'd be quite fun. Oh, come on, Matt. Be Batman. Actually, don't take matters into your own hands, because then that makes it worse to try and solve the negative nonsense. But yeah, the Z Z carriage being printer block doesn't quite make sense, because I'm still going to have to use screws within it anyway. There is no way that just having that clipped together with printer block connectors would work. So then we get parts preparation. So the carriage itself, I think leaving that stock makes sense because it's a known piece and we know it works. Maybe go for a direct drive version. But again, I might take you up on your suggestion of build it stock first and then convert it afterwards. Oh, good. Congratulations, Matt. Congratulations on your living in the UK test. Like, genuinely well done. Mounting the motor, that's fine. And again, this is another one of those bits where having this as the stock piece, maybe theme it up a little bit to be printer block compatible so that we could put blocks on it, would be a fun idea. I am looking forward to eating the gummy bears. Good. Z carriage. Yeah, so you can see how the x-axis piece clamps onto those bearings. I'm not sure how we would get that to work with it if it were to be pure printer block, unless we were to make the bearings captive and print around them, so print in place. That seems horrible, and then you can't thread the belt very well. That seems like a bad idea. Print in place the bearings. That's just some normal bits. That's then tensioning. Yeah. So I think you are right, Kragord. I think this is going to be one where we build it first, find the parts that make sense to convert to printer block. Okay. Well, thank you for joining, Matt. I'm glad you could swing by. Now, keep fighting crime, I guess. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck fighting crime. Okay. Yes. So we get to, I guess, download all of these and print them all. Because I don't think my kit includes the printed parts. Oh, this is getting a whole lot more difficult all of a sudden. This is a whole lot more difficult all of a sudden. Oh no! Oh no! Hmm. Oh dear. Do I bump the speed on this print up? Okay. Build it, stay back, and it will become clear what has to be stock. When Doug doesn't think about an idea. Clearly, this is when I don't think about an idea. Clearly, I've not thought about this. I've just said, you know what, let's do it. So yes, this is going to be what we're going to do. We are going to build it stock, as Kragord suggests. He is right on that it makes sense to build it in its stock configuration to review what pieces that we can clearly switch out. That's going to be our play. So that's what we are going to do, which means printing a load of parts for a Prusa Mini. Well then, it's a good job that Prusa provided Prushment. It's a good job, basically, isn't it? They provided Prushment for this project. Yeah. Thank you, Prusa. Love the smell of ABS in the morning. It's not ABS, it's PETG. Prusa provided PETG for the printer blockified Prusa Mini build. Although why the vacuum on this roll of PETG has gone, I have no idea. Because I've not opened it. Interesting. And the filament has snapped from the thready hole. Interesting. But it is what it is. I hate that expression. I've never printed in ABS. The most exotic thing I have printed is PET. So not PETG, PET. From the Recreator builds. Like, you know, the Cthulhu from Printblock, from Joe Larson's Cute Cthulhu and Friends. That is the most exotic filament I've printed. I've got a roll. It's down there somewhere. You know, I do have a roll of CPU, but I've just never printed it. I've never felt the need. This will definitely need drying. But no, I've just never printed TPU. I've not had any need or what have you to actually print it, so I just never did. Edge, 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 edge. There you go. I'll feel honored. I feel honored by your exoticness. Ooh la la. But yeah, ABS is one that, because I only previously had open frame printers with the End of 3, with the Kingroon KP3S, with the Prusa Minis, I've just never needed to. Ooh, Viduko! Good morning to you! Oh yeah, we're an hour in, which makes it now 9 o'clock. Which, again, nobody's told me what they've had for breakfast. You're letting me down, folks. You need to tell me what's for breakfast or lunch. What is your time-appropriate meal? That's the thing. So, never felt the need to do those, I'm calling them exotics, because they're exotic to me. PLA is my primary, it's my preference. I will print PETG for things that require to flex, but there we go. Of course you're having that for breakfast, Josh. That and a strong coffee, I assume. Coffee. Remember, folks, to hydrate and, if you have to, medicate. We can't forget those. They're important. Because you're important to me. That was terrible, but it's true. Don't forget your drugs. I have been here, just finally moving. I don't eat until earliest 12. Yeah, I know. I know, Viduko, because you're a strange pigeon. A strange, strange pigeon. Am I, Josh? Am I? So let's get back to it. Do we need to build a plan of attack as to what we're going to do for the Prusa block printer? Do we need to formulate an idea? I might need to open a notepad file again to get this to get this going. What are you? You are an SSH key. What are you? You're a WireGuard key. What are you? You're a product key. You can stay open. Don't need you. Don't need you. You might say that I'm putting my cross on. Oh. Yeah? Okay, let's do a window grab. And let's add in Notepad. Boop. Boop. And then move it somewhere where we can see it that's not going to be in the way. And then let's add in Notepad and put it somewhere where it's not going to be in the way. And then transition. There's Notepad. And of course the edge capture disappears. Goodness sake. There we go. Right. So, Prusa block printer sanity checklist. So what we've agreed is we have agreed that we are going to 1, build it in its stock configuration. 1.1, take note of parts that look easy to print blockify. Then we redesign pieces that can be printer blockified. Because I'm good at typing. Redesign pieces that can be printer blockified. 3, rebuild it. Yeah? There you go. And when in doubt, print a block. I hope you can read that because I have no idea how small that actually is. And when will the mini be done by Smurf 2077? Stay tuned. Will Doug stay sane? Stay tuned. Oh wait. Will the Prusa Mini be done by Smurf 2027? Stay tuned. Will Doug stay sane? Will Doug figure it out? Will this all be more? This and... Will the Prusa Mini be done by Smurf 2027? Stay tuned. Will Doug stay sane? Will Doug figure it out? This, all this and more coming up in the future. Yes? Oh, third take. Third take? Do we go for a third take? Let's go for a third take. Will the printer blockified Prusa Mini build be done by Smurf 2027? Will Doug stay sane? Will Doug figure it all out? All this and more coming up in the future. Yeah, I like that one. That one was good. That one was good. Any more lines you want me to say? I can do more lines. 2.1, redesign pieces. That don't fully make sense. But could be used. Not redesign, let's just redesign the pieces that could be used. Rebuild it. I missed a step. 3, print it all. Again. 4, rebuild it. But print a block. Yeah? Anything else? Can you actually see that? That's the question, because I can't see if you can see that. You need to let me know if it's too small, folks. They need to update the Mini with the print head out of the 4. Okay, so a couple of people in the positron community have laid groundworks to get an extruder on the Prusa Mini, which is fun. So there is that movement that's happened. Let's make that a bit bigger. Let's get the window capture back. There we go. No, wrong one. Notepad.exe. And then edge capture is this one, okay, and then retransition. Hopefully that's a bit easier to see. Oops. Let's go view. No, is it? No. Window. No. Edit. No. I could just do that. There we go. Even easier, in theory. Yes, so there have been some people, please no extruder on those flimsy rods. It's not the rods that are flimsy. The rods aren't flimsy. It's the cantilever weight that is the determining factor. Because if you go all the way to 180, the maximum area, it's a lot of weight to have there. And if I was to cheat and turn this into an i3 style frame rather than a cantilever, because that's the other bit, it's maintaining the visual aesthetic of the cantilever of the Prusa Mini that makes me want to do this. So I'm happy to be wrong. I'm very happy to be wrong. But this is why doing the using extrusion and just making covers is to me cheating. Like I don't think that's a good idea, because that to me is boring and takes away from the spirit of this challenge, this project. Having it such that, well, hello Reliance, having it be having the right, let me just make this in the right place and put this down here, switch it on. There we go. Having the Prusa Mini keep the aesthetic. Right, let's actually write that down. Let's write down the rules. 1, keep the cantilever style of the Prusa Mini. That's the first rule, right? That's the first rule. We're keeping it as Prusa Mini. There's no way around that. I don't care. Hang on. I need to transform that one, and then grab this one, and there we go. So that's the first rule. We are keeping it as close design-wise to the original Prusa Mini. The second rule, structural printer block only. Structural printer block, no extrusion. Right, no extrusion is allowed. Motion components and kinematics must be stock. So we're reusing as much of the kit as possible. So the bearings, the rods, the screws, that's what we're going to be using. We're not adding anything where possible to this kit, because I want you to be able to just pick up a Prusa Mini off of Marketplace, for example, off of eBay, off of Kijiji if you're in Canada, and whatever service, and just be able to pick it up from there and make this. Shoe Alley, actually, printer blocks have been extruded. There. Happy now, Herzl? No non-3D printed extrusion allowed. Happy now? Motion components and kinematics must be stock. 4, reuse as much Prusa Mini parts as possible. They're the rules. So this is the running order, and these are the rules. Maybe the rules should be above the running order. There's the rules, there's the running order. that is slightly off the screen. Transform. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. So I'm here. Sorry, I was checking on my ukulele. Oh, ukulele. Very nice. So can I use a 3D printed mold to cast the aluminium that is still, as it is still using 3D printed in the process? If you can cast a printer block, go for it. You're going to have to do lost form casting to cast a printer block, and it has to be like in sand or something. And because you can't have, well, I say you can't have. It would have to be a lost form casting, and it would have to be a process that allows you to remove anything from inside the block, because those overhangs, right? The overhangs on a printer block are ridiculous. Like, I mean, seriously, good luck. If you want to cast a block, if you want to cast a printer block, then yes, do it. I want a cast printer block. I need some in my collection because I just think that'd be great. If you've got access to a 5-axis that can CNC mill a block, I want to see it. No. We're not reusing the aluminium extrusion. We're not doing it because that ruins the fun. But then it's a caster block. Yes. Isn't that it? Then it isn't 3D printed in rules. All right. 2, keep it 3D printed. Yeah. You're making my life difficult with these rules. I fear this is going to be a lot of flexing. Yeah. Then that's all part of the fun. That's all part of the fun. Like you need to. There's a surprisingly little amount of flex in the Delta block when it comes to putting the motion components in place. They made it very rigid. When I first put the frame together for the Delta block, it would bow in, but the moment I put the rod, the MGN12 rails in, it really firmed it up. This feedback feels way too productive. It feels very productive. Yeah, so there's that, and I don't know. I'm happy. I'm currently happy that I think this is. I'm happy with this. You know. Oh, and rule number 6. No glue or screws unless screws are interacting with physical with critical components. There. I like rule 6. No glue or screws unless screws are interacting with critical components. Screws for the Example, screws for motors or keeping keeping bearings rods in place. There we go. That is rule 6, and we have extended it. Structural print block only. Structure via print block only. Structure via printer block only. No non-3D printed extrusions allowed. Screw glue. Glue is cheating. No, see? Screws interacting with critical components only. I think, so let's just go back to the build guide for a moment and bring up the x-axis again. I will bring it up once I find the right piece. But when it comes to the Z assembly, I need to clarify with you. Let's get the piece back. And I'll bring the window back up. Has to be a train wreck of colors. Of course it will. It's going to be a train wreck of colors. It's not going to be orange and black, because orange and black is, while it's Prussia's colors, it's rather dull. So let's bring back the edge window for a moment. And let's have a check-in on the track piece. This one, transition, and turn off. Well, so the track is printing rather well. I think we can get Reliance to comment on that. What do we think? What do we think, Reliance? How does this look in your opinion? There. Twist it around slightly so you can see it better. What do we think? I think this looks reasonable. I think I've got a layer shift. Yeah, I think there's a layer shift here. Which, that sucks. Most error on the inside, which the design won't care about. Okay. I'm going to have to print out a few more and send them your way. Because this will be fun. And see how they interact with the rest of the build. Obviously, I'll do a bit more fine-tuning of the calibration off stream, because I'm terrible at that, to put it bluntly, but yeah, we'll make it work. Right. So the rule of screw and glue, screws, glues, and gloop. I just don't know how the marble rolling area will be with the cloth. Neither do I. Neither do I. That's going to be all part of the fun. So, the rule of glue, gloop, or screws. This piece here, the x-axis, it's decent smooth, then it should be okay-ish. This piece here, this is mounting the x-axis as a whole to these bearings. So to me, I think this falls within critical components because these bearings are critical. There's no way to avoid them, and I have my doubts as to whether there would be sufficient friction to bite in with printer block. Doing the bearings captive, like I did on the original Core XY, where I printed bearings in place to the blocks, so there's an LM. The printer block is 16 by 16. You can fit an LM3UU bearing inside of these blocks. It works. 3mm rods are abysmal. They are very flexible, but what can you do about it? You can do a lot, but that's not the point. You can use something else, like rails. Would we say, in this scenario, this is... Yes, good morning, Joe. Yes, this is working. It's still got some bumps for fine-tuning of calibration to sort out, but I want to say it's there. And if I just switch over to my face for a moment, we got a full-size, well, a gigantic block off of it. So provide a bit more shade. Light blockage. And this block does interact with, when I get it lined up, and it does snap nicely. It does snap nicely. It goes, and it's nice. I didn't pitch tune the hot end. Where's the layer lines on that one? So the layer lines on this one, this was printed at 30 degrees. So there's the base. There's the base. That way would make it... Let's go this way. This is the back edge. Yellow's not the best color. So you can see there is some drooping. Sorry. You can see there is some drooping here. Things are backwards. There. There's some drooping here that just happens, and you can't really do a lot about that at 30 degrees. 25 would be the better angle to print block at. So the layer lines are going that way. They go that way. And it really wants to focus on my face rather than everything else. No, that is not focusing. I'm going to get some... I should have taken some still images. I should have taken stills. Why didn't I take stills? Can I take a still right now and get it up on stream? No, because I don't know where my phone is to take a picture. That's a little ugly. Back wood printing at 45 around the z-axis. Fix that. Making that a leading edge. Let's have a look. Let's open up the slicer. Let's throw a printer block into the slicer and have a gander. Base block, Giganta block. Because base Giganta block are easier to see. And let's load up the scene with Idea Maker. Slicer. Plus face. Transition. And then there. Right. So here is the Giganta block. Let's let's rotate it. Rotate. 45. 30. 50. Oh my goodness. 44. 45. Let's slice it. Let's preview. This is slicing at 30 degrees because that's how mine is currently. Wait, so they're from bridging with belt printers. Wait, so are there even any artifacts for bridging with belt printers? If you're getting the angle if you're getting it it's avoidable. You can try and avoid them, but they do still turn up. Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Floating and printing in midair. That's on the belt, so that's fine. Have we got anywhere that prints in midair? No, that is definitely on the belt. Oops, sorry. It looks to be behaving, so your suggestion of this, it's less harsh on the top side, so that's a positive. Yeah, it's less harsh, so leading it 45 degrees in might actually be the way to do this. Huh. Yeah, why not? Yeah. That's going on the list of files to print. Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned by the narrowness here, but I don't see that being a problem. I think 45 degrees and 30 for the print angle might actually be a good combination. Could you not do a breakaway support of some kind? When printing printer block, we don't really want to do supports because that's just effort to tidy up. Nobody likes supports. I guess horizontal bridging would be better, but you'd still have artifacts at an angle. What's something that's got a decent sized bridge that isn't just a benchy? Do I have anything that's got a good bridge? I can't think of anything that's heavily bridgy. Bring in the printer benchy. Something with a bridge. Think out loud for a moment. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. That is actually a very good idea. Let's import your marble file, your marble track, and flip it. Straight path. STL. And then let's rotate. Lay flat on this side. There we go. Slice. Let's see how it deals with it. Preview. There are some steep angles, but it looks like no actual floating regions. The other options is to build a platform to angle the block 30 degrees, then break them off. I did have that thought when you were trying to do 45 degree on the CR30 by using the 90 degree block. By using the 90 degree block to then print from that, which, yeah, that was a reasonable idea, but I've no idea if we ever tested it. And then doing like putting a bit of a single layer gap between them so that it prints into thin air, but it prints close enough to kind of support it. If you could do 2 tool heads, then you can angle them all and just have PETG interface between them. I tested it, I think, but it was just wasteful. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the preview of this one. It prints upwards. Obviously, we've got some floating regions beneath, but we're ignoring those because we know that that shouldn't be printing like that. So the bridge here seems to be reasonable. It doesn't look too harsh because you're only adding a little bit at a time, and you've got all of this that's pulling it back into the right place. If those, wow, that's not even central to the screen. Sorry about that. So it doesn't look too harsh because, as I say, you've got everything else that's here not supporting it. You've got every other bit that's able to deal with it. So then we get the path itself, which is somewhere, where is it? It'll start now, won't it? So that's a very long piece that's hanging in midair, which there might be issues with that because you're reaching over a span of 30 something millimeters to try and then get it to bridge to the next piece. I can always print it and find out how it goes. And I could show it in the next stream or post it in Discord, and we can have a look at it from there. I'm tempted to try and print that now. Would it be better to bridge that or layer that? I don't know, just thinking out loud. I don't know either. Remove the align nubs at the top though. Yes, I would chop off the alignment nubs and make it a bit shorter overall. Let's close the preview. Let's cut it here. and then cut. Bloop. Delete that. That should be on the bed. Oops. Get off. Nope. That is floating in midair. Let's just merge it through the bed. Actually, no, Z is 0. Yeah. And then X is 0 to get it back in the middle. And there we go. So I can print that block at 45 degrees and print the marble track upside down. This is fun. So now it won't work with the rest. Oh well. Doesn't matter. This is all science. Also, Jay Bresson, welcome. Hello. How you doing? I'm glad you could join us. This is the, in theory, finale of the building of the BabyBelt Pro. We've just been having it print all stream. Let's just transition over to that shot. It's going. It's printing reasonably. The issues that we've got now are just standard calibration, the stuff that you have to do with every other printer. Checking the flow rate, checking the temperature, checking the movement speeds, things like that. And so far, I would say it looks okay. As I showed earlier, we've had some printer block come off of it that look good enough to me. The sizing of them needs checking, so it's checking the rotation difference. And as Josh has just pointed out, if you're enjoying this, you can hit the like button. I don't think it does anything, but there's one way to find out, and that is to hit like. And there we go. And if you really want to see more of this nonsense, you can also, there's a subscribe button. If you wanted to, that would be appreciated, so that then you'll know. And I ain't liking until you turn the marble piece. Until I turn it. All right. Fair enough. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and do so. You'll be notified the next time I do go live, which might be Thursday. I might do another Thursday stream, because that seemed to go well, and yeah, that seemed to go all right, because, you know, I actually did some calibration and stuff. So we get that. Again, let me know what you think. I do want to know what you all think of this nonsense, because I'm enjoying it, and I hope you are too. But here we are. Good call to action there, Josh. Oh yeah, in the description, there is a link. That link. Saw the previous streams over on JLT3D, and I just got this one. Oh, so you're how to say this? A lurker? You've seen the VODs. Nice. I do need to edit a VOD into an actual video. That would be a lot better for people. Yes, and I need to stop saying a lot, because hey, there's that. Yeah. Right. So 9 people currently watching and 5 likes. I'm okay with that. If I had one of those and I didn't want to go through what you went through, I'd print a sword. Well, Joe. I feels wrong calling you Joe. Well, Mr. Professor, we could always printer blockify it. We could always make a printer block BabyBelt printer Or we could always print to blockify a BabyBelt Pro. We could always do that. So if you wanted that, maybe take a kit from a maker and just remix it to work with printer block. How would you feel about that? Printer blockify all the printers. I think that's a great idea. He steals our islands, Professor, like a local spirit guide. We'll talk about it. Basically, I translate that to give it a go and let us know how it goes. Or politely, go away. So yes. Oh, that's future Doug's problems right there. Future Doug's problems. So outside of the tangent of distraction that we've had for the last 15 minutes, when it comes to screws, see, I'm bringing it back. How boring. When it comes to screws and glue, no. Unless I can't avoid it, like with this X-axis piece, because, you know, it needs the screws to pull it together to properly hold onto the bearings to not then fall apart. I think that's a forgivable use of screws. And we are at 1 hour 30. How long has this been going? We're an hour and a half of this print, and we are 41% of the way through. That's certainly something. Ah, jeez. But there we go. No? What do you mean no? That's not a forgivable use of screws? How? It'll fall apart. I say this. There is space to remix this to put some printer block connectors in here. There is space. Even if that means building the carriage first. But then you can't exactly get to make sure the belt's in place. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. We'll figure it out, because, like I say, we need to build the Prusa Mini in its stock configuration first. So then we can assess. Let's bring up the rules, not the rules, the running order. Build it in its stock configuration and make note of the parts that look printer blockifiable. Printer blockifiable. Redesign the pieces that can be printer blockified, and redesign, and then we go through the pieces that don't fully make sense but could be used, and we get to print it all again and rebuild it all, but printer block. Make it as if you can connect the blocks to it, but have the parts inside the same stock. So skin it, theme it, skin it, whatever word you want to use. In that, where it's not avoidable. Okay. Bulk it up to make it printer block compatible. So then you could put a camera on the X-axis, for example. That would be in. That. Well, Cragord. Just a skin. Encase it all in blocks. No, it's not. It's not a skin if it's usable. I would say it's not a skin if you can reuse it for other bits, but just covering the extrusion in a skin is boring. Ooh, duck. Skeleton block. The entire skeleton will be printer block. The entire structure of this is printer block. It's not going to be under the skin of it and then extrusion on the inside. That's a no-no. That is cheating. Yeah. So overall, let's just bring this back to here. We are 43% of the way through this print, which is looking good, or good enough for the time being. We have got the next file to print, and then I will update you all on the social medias. There is a link in the description to go to my website, and then you can follow me on your platform of choice. I have that there, Twitter, I have Blue Sky, there is a Discord. I have a Discord now for some reason. If you really wanted to join that, you can. I try to remember to post things in there, but it doesn't always happen. And then we've got if you really enjoyed this, there is ko-fi.com/DreamsVoid. If you have some branding of your own that you like to use, you can get a sponsor block and it will be put onto the next printer block project that I create. And there we go. Nonsense and shindigs and shenanigans. Oh, there's also a link to 3D Jake if you wanted to buy some filament or other stuff, and they currently have their 30% off summer sale. So there might be something useful to you through them. And yes, I do really need a QR code of some description that turns up on screen. Otherwise, you know, I do have this that may or may not work. Can you scan it? Does it work? Ooh. What if I don't hold it still? Do you want to? Yeah. Physical props. Physical props are always fun. Print quality is look good. Carl made that one for me. Yeah, Carl printed the QR code because, hey, QR codes are always fun. Okay, so I'm going to sign out for today here. I will momentarily do some shenanigans. And if you give me a moment, let's do shenanigans. Let's find the right one. Not this one. I need it to be this and this. And turn that one off. Move this over here. Position the camera a bit better so that you can see it better. Do that, and then started just now. Is it this one? I'm going to give you all a link so that if you wanted to, you can keep watching the BabyBelt itself printing. Because, hey, why not? And you'll be able to hear me for a few minutes and see me for a few minutes because, hey, you know, this is now a mildly after dark stream. What time is it for me right now? It is currently 3 p.m., Mr. Dear J. Brezen, dear Jay. It is currently 3 p.m. for me. So it's a lunchtime stream for myself and Europe for the most part. It is a breakfast stream if you are on the East Coast, and it's a why are you up this early if you're in Mountain Time. So yeah, I say thank you all for watching. I need to find a link to then copy the link, to then paste the link into the chat. There is the Discord. If you really want to join the Discord, feel free. You're more than welcome to do so. Again, thanks for watching. I'm good at this outro because I've been thrown off so many times. Let's go blank, transition, wee, some background noise. It's exit music, outro music, really good outro music. Woo.